Okay, so as you can tell from my attempt at Princess Leia buns and my t-shirt, look like a princess, fight like a Jedi, that today's video is probably all about Star Wars. Okay, so first I just thought I would tell you a little bit about my Star Wars history. I was kind of raised on Star Wars. I like to say that the first movie I ever saw in the theater was Empire Strikes Back because my mother was pregnant with me when she saw that movie in the theater. So I, as a child, used to say, oh yeah, I watched it outside of my mom's belly button. I know, very silly. But as a little girl who grew up with Star Wars and always loved Star Wars, that was something that I always loved. And for some reason, even into my adulthood, Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite of all the Star Wars movies. As kids, me and my cousins used to play Star Wars all the time. We used to pretend like the Jungle Gym was the Millennium Falcon, or like we were in the Resistance and we were flying fighters and all this sort of stuff. So as a kid, it was a very big part of my childhood. I never actually saw any of the originals in the theater because I was born in '81, so I was a bit too young for that. But as a child of the '80s, like everybody else, what did we do? We recorded things on VHS off of the TV. And my earliest memory of A New Hope was that the movie always started with C-3PO and R2-D2 in the desert on Tatooine. And that's the way I thought that movie started for like the first decade of my life or more, maybe the first 15 years of my life. I'm trying to remember when they re-released the first, 4, 5, and 6. When did they re-release it into the theaters? But when they re-released it into the theaters and re-released them onto DVD, whenever that was, or whenever my family first got their own like actual copy of the movies, whenever that was when I realized that A New Hope does not start in the desert. No, it starts on a spaceship in space with Princess Leia giving the message to R2-D2. You see Darth Vader at the very beginning of the movie. As a kid, I didn't know any of that ever happened. For me, A New Hope started on Tatooine in the desert with C-3PO and R2-D2. So, growing up loving Star Wars, when the 1, 2, 3 were released, the prequels, many of us were so excited. Like, those of you who came after Star Wars, the prequels, do not understand the anticipation and the excitement that those of us had waiting for the prequels to come out. That was before you could pre-purchase tickets online, so we actually would camp out and wait to buy tickets and then get there early for the midnight showing. So I was there for all of the prequels. That was before we were all, vastly disappointed by the prequel movies, and we like to pretend they didn't happen, some of us. But that was just part of my life. So always a big Star Wars fan. And my sister, who has 3 children, has carried on that love of Star Wars to her children. So when me and my sister took my nephew on a surprise birthday trip to Disney World, one of the things that we had to do was to do the Jedi Training Academy. This was before the Star Wars Land actually opened, so we weren't able to go Star Wars Land or Rise of the Resistance or anything like that. But we did sign up for Jedi Training Academy. If you're heading to Hollywood Studios and you want to do anything Star Wars related, the main thing is that you're going to want to get to the park when it opens, which means you're going to want to be in line at least 30 minutes prior to the park opening so that you're entering the park before the park opens. For Jedi Training Academy, you're going to head straight into the park and you're going to take a left and head over to where the Indiana Jones ride is. And to the left of the Indiana Jones ride is the Indiana Jones Outpost. And this is where you're going to sign up for Jedi Training Academy. You're going to get in line. It's not going to take long. The line may look really long. I know when me and my sister and my nephew got in line, we were way back all the way at the Indiana Jones ride. But the line actually moved very quickly, and there were stormtroopers kind of walking around and talking to the kids and keeping them entertained. Once you get through the line, which really, like I said, doesn't take very long, you're going to walk up to a person at the outpost who's going to help you sign up for a time slot. You're going to want to know already, like if you got into the park early and already signed up for a Rise of the Resistance spot and you already know your boarding pass time, or if you already have fast passes for other rides in the park, you're going to want to know what your schedule is. So you can let the person know, I'd really like to come back between 10 and 12, or between 12 and 2, or between 4 and 6, or whatever it is. You're going to want to have a time frame of what's going to work for you. You most likely won't have a pickup the whole day unless you're like the first few people in the line, but you will have a decent amount of options, but just have an idea. We had an idea of what was going to work into our schedule that day, and we were able to get a time slot that would work into our schedule. So they're going to give you your time, you're going to sign up, you're going to leave, you're going to come back to the outpost when your time slot is there. You're going to leave your child with the crew, and you are going to go wait for them at the Jedi Training Academy location, which is right next to Star Tours. The kids are going to march in, they're going to learn how to use their lightsabers, they're going to get trained in the Force, they're going to get to fight either Darth Vader or Kylo Ren. My nephew got to fight Darth Vader. And then they're going to get to use their Force to fight off the dark side. So it's really cool and fun, and the kids really get into it and like really like believe that it's happening. You know, like you can see the magic in their faces when it's happening. So what you're going to get to see today is some of those highlights. You're going to get to see them coming in, the training, the fighting with Darth Vader, and that fighting off of the Force, okay? And remember, since today is May 4th, may the 4th be with you.
It's responding, but we need more help. Everyone. Perfect. Saber down. Well done.
Stand here.
I see you've been taught to fight like a Jedi. So have I.
Ready position. Cut to his left shoulder. Right shoulder. Step. More. Cut to his head. I focus. Saber down. Ready position. Sabers up.
Yes. Your anger will make you strong. I can teach you to use it. I can teach you the ways of the Force.
You mean the ways of the dark side?
The power of the dark side. Join me.
We'll never join you. We'll fight you. Students, activate!
Fight with fear and anger, will you?
Master Yoda?
What you have learned from your master, your students must learn from you.
Of course. Students, deactivate your sabers. I understand now.
As well then. Now, ready then for this lesson.
Yes, Master Yoda. Students, we have faced our fears, but to pass our trials, we have to let go of our anger. Everyone, put down your lightsaber. Now face Kylo Ren.
I would rethink that instruction, apprentice.
We can do this. Students, on count to 3, let's use the Force and push this illusion back to where it came from. 1, 2, 3, go!
I am immune to the light.
But you're not immune to the Force. Now! Students! Force push! With all of your power! Now! Yes! We did! Students, you are amazing!
This is Kaylin, and she really wants to be a part of the video today. Don't you, Kaylin? You just want to be a part of that. Yes, you do. You say hi? You say hi to YouTube. Huh? Okay. And this is where you're going to sign up for gym. And you're going. What was I going to say? May the 4th be with you. My husband told me not to say that out loud. He thinks it's the cheesiest thing in the world. And he said that if I said, may the 4th be with you to him, that he would leave me and go lick a box at the grocery store.